We often have a gut feeling, don't we? When something presented as knowledge just doesn't quite sit right.
Yeah, that feeling.
It reminds me of that quote from Carol Tavris back in '99 at the APS symposium.
Oh, yeah. Which one?
Pseudoscience is like pornography. We can't define it, but we know it when we see it.
Oh, right. That's a classic. It really captures the fuzziness.
Exactly. And it kind of connects to this term I found fascinating, pornoscientia.
Pornoscientia. Okay, let's break that down.
Yeah.
Well, the word itself, it combines Greek roots. You've got prostitute or prostitution,
Okay.
and then the Latin for knowledge. So it's basically describing the prostitution of knowledge.
Right. But not literally studying prostitution,
No,
obviously.
no, definitely not. It's more the idea of knowledge being sort of cheapened, debased for some purpose, losing its integrity.
That's it. Yeah, well, that idea is really central to this book, also called Pornoscientia.
What's the book?
Right. Yeah. And it's not like your usual debunking book. It gathers all these topics that mainstream science thinks are, obsolete or pseudoscientific, invalid, basically.
Okay, so what's the angle then?
Well, what I found interesting is it's not trying to say, hey, these are all true after all.
Right.
It's more about opening a conversation, kind of inviting us to reconsider things we might have dismissed too fast.
So sparking curiosity, maybe. That what if question.
Exactly. Less about final answers, more about exploring possibilities.
Which leads us straight into the problem of actually defining pseudoscience, doesn't it?
It really does.
I mean, one of our sources mentioned Lilienfeld. He was worried about whether the public could really apply complex criteria to spot it.
Like it's too academic.
Yeah, I mean, even understanding Popper's idea of falsifiability, that a scientific idea has to be testable, potentially provable wrong.
Right. That alone can be tricky.
Exactly. So expecting people to use something like Bunge's 7 points for pseudoscience, well, that might be a bit much.
And it gets even tougher, doesn't it? Because lots of people pushing these questionable ideas actually have PhDs, advanced degrees.
Oh, absolutely. That gives this air of authority that might not actually be warranted. It muddies the waters.
It really does. And that brings up another point, the term pseudoscience itself. It's not without its critics.
No, definitely not.
Some people argue it's just what one source called an inflammatory buzzword.
Right. Used to just shut down an argument instead of engaging with it.
Yeah. You see that sometimes apparently in debates around sociobiology or evolutionary psychology. Seeger-Stroll mentioned that.
Labels getting thrown around.
And it's not new either. Even someone like Carl Lashley, searching for the memory trace in the brain.
The Enneagram, yeah?
Right. He didn't quite find it. And some later called his work discredited pseudoscience. It made you think, are we always using the right tools to evaluate these things?
That's a really key question. And it ties into what Ladon argued.
What was his take?
Basically, that maybe we should just drop terms like pseudoscience and unscientific.
Really, just get rid of them.
His point was they don't often add much clarity. Instead of just labeling something in or out of science,
What should you focus on?
we should focus on the arguments themselves, the evidence, what he called belief worthiness, epistemic warrant, evidential basis, empirical support.
Okay, so shift the focus from the label to the actual substance.
Exactly. Assess the claims on their merits, not just slap a category on them.
That makes a lot of sense. It's about digging into the what and why, not just a yes-no. And, another source pointed out that science isn't only about trying to disprove things, falsification.
Right. Confirming hypotheses is crucial, too. Finding supporting evidence.
So sometimes someone gets called pseudoscience, but maybe the real issue is just that it hasn't been properly tested and confirmed yet.
That could be it. A failure to test might be a more accurate criticism than just the label itself. And then beyond just pseudoscience, there's this whole cloud of related terms that make things even blurrier.
Oh, yeah. Like what?
Well, think about cry wolf situation.
Crying wolf. Like false alarms.
Exactly. Deliberately spreading false alarms. The classic joke example is warning about dihydrogen monoxide.
Yes. Water. H2O.
Right. Then you've got technobabble.
Oh, I know that one. Using sciencey sounding words that don't actually mean anything.
Precisely. Just to sound impressive or authoritative.
Yeah, jargon for jargon's sake. And then what about scientific consensus?
Yeah. That's basically the popular opinion within a field, right?
But our source makes a good point. Popular opinion isn't the same as scientific proof.
Absolutely not. Just because most scientists agree doesn't make it automatically definitively true. It can sometimes be more like rhetoric, sophistry even.
And then there's paradigm.
Yeah, the basic framework, the shared assumptions and theories in a field at a certain time.
Gotcha. And scientific literacy. That sounds important.
It is. It's the ability to, understand and critically look at scientific information.
Yep.
But the source notes that sometimes accusing someone of lacking scientific literacy is just a way to dismiss them because they disagree with the mainstream view.
Ah, right. Not necessarily because they don't understand the science.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It can be a rhetorical move.
Okay. We also see terms for things that seem to break basic science rules, like free energy.
Right, or perpetual motion. Things that would violate thermodynamics, the fundamental laws of energy.
Yeah, can't get something from nothing.
Yeah.
And extra scientific.
That just means outside the realm of science, something science doesn't or can't address.
Okay. And in the health world, there's quackery.
Yeah, Stephen Barrett's definition is pretty broad. Basically, over-promoting health stuff that isn't proven, whether the person means to deceive or not.
So different from a charlatan.
Right. A charlatan is someone who knows they're peddling worthless stuff using bogus claims. Deliberate fraud.
Got it. And the placebo effect, that's huge in health discussions.
Oh, absolutely. That real improvement you see just because someone believes the treatment works, even if it's inert.
It's powerful.
Incredibly so. Then, on the flip side, you have anti-scientific.
Someone's just rejecting science altogether.
Pretty much. Rejecting the principles, the methods, and then there's this interesting category, proto-sciences.
Proto, like early stage?
Kind of. Fields like, say, early alchemy before it became chemistry, or maybe some social sciences now. They're starting to form testable ideas.
But they don't have that clear path of progress or widely agreed on theories yet, like Thomas Kuhn described.
Exactly. Still developing.
Okay. And then some simpler terms like malarkey.
Just misleading nonsense, basically. Or fatuous.
Meaning?
Just foolish, inane, silly.
Right. Okay, so now let's maybe look at some specific fields that often get the pseudoscience label.
Yeah, the source lists quite a few. Alchemy is a classic one.
Turning lead into gold, the elixir of life, all that.
Yep. And astrology, the idea that stars and planets influence our lives.
Which used to be tangled up with astronomy way back when.
It did. Then there's pseudo-archaeology.
So archaeology, that's not mainstream, like ancient aliens type stuff.
Often, yeah. Interpretations of the past that lack rigorous evidence, straying far from standard archaeological methods.
Okay. And ghost hunting? Investigating spooky stuff?
Uh-huh. And cryptozoology.
Searching for Nessie and Bigfoot?
Exactly. Looking for creatures not scientifically confirmed.
Fascinating stuff,
What?
even if unproven. What else? Crop circles?
Those weird patterns in fields, yeah. And dowsing.
Using rods to find water?
Or other things, yeah. Then prophecy, predicting the future, and ufology.
Studying unidentified flying objects. It's a real mix.
It is, and don't forget phrenology.
Reading personality from bumps on the head. That one's definitely out.
Long discredited, yes. And numerology, finding mystical meaning in numbers.
Right. And the big umbrella term, paranormal.
Yeah, covering all sorts of phenomena that seem to defy current scientific explanation.
Okay, moving to human experience and effects. This gets really interesting.
ESP. Extrasensory perception. Yeah, things like telepathy, mind reading.
Or clairvoyance, seeing things you shouldn't be able to see.
Right, and the power of thought idea.
Like moving things with your mind.
Yeah.
Psychokinesis or levitation.
Exactly. Mind over matter, quite literally.
Wow. And psychic surgery.
Allegedly removing tumors or disease without cutting the skin, highly controversial.
I bet. And channeling. Talking to spirits.
Or other non-physical beings, supposedly. And then there are older ideas, like a curse.
Causing harm through magic.
Or belief in it, yeah. Or maternal impression.
The idea that a mother's thoughts could cause birth defects.
An outdated notion, definitely.
And trying to judge character from looks. Physiognomy.
Yep. And the focal infection theory. The old idea that, say, a bad tooth could cause arthritis somewhere else.
And the source mentions some controversial therapies, too. Attachment therapy.
Some forms involve physical restraint, raising major ethical flags, and conversion therapy.
Trying to change sexual orientation using aversion techniques. Also highly problematic.
Very much so. Our focus here is just noting these concepts exist in this debated space.
Understood. What about graphology? Yeah. Judging personality from handwriting.
That's the one. And mesmerism. Mesmer's animal magnetism.
Right. Inducing trances for healing. The Maria Theresia Paredes case is mentioned,
Yeah, she temporarily regained sight under his treatment, a famous complex case,
which leads us nicely into hypnosis.
which has a really long and kind of winding history, maybe one of the earliest focused psychological approaches in a way.
Even before the word hypnosis was used.
Oh, yeah. Exploring altered states, suggestibility. It goes way back.
So how did it develop?
Well, you had Mesmer's student, the Marquis de Puysegur. He talked about artificial somnambulism, like sleepwalking, but suggestible. That influenced early psychology.
Okay.
Then Abbe Faria suggested it was purely mental lucid sleep, making people highly suggestible.
And James Braid, he coined the term.
He coined neurohypnotism, yeah. From the Greek word for sleep, hypnos. He wrote Neuropnology, exploring it as a kind of nervous sleep.
And now it's branched out a lot, right? Hypnotherapy.
Yeah, used for psychological issues. And clinical hypnosis in medical settings, pain, anxiety, phobias, even dentistry.
And that feeling on long drives, road hypnosis.
That zoned out state, yeah. Totally relatable.
The source also lists hypnoaromatherapy, combining smells,
And self-hypnosis or auto-hypnosis. Then we get into NLP.
neurolinguistic programming, Bandler and Grinder.
Right, connecting thoughts, language, behavior. Their book, The Structure of Magic, was key.
How does it work, basically?
It looks at how we build mental maps of reality, how language shapes those maps. They talked about rule-governed versus determined behavior and developed the meta model.
A tool for therapy.
Yeah, to help people identify and challenge limiting beliefs revealed in how they talk.
Interesting. So understanding our internal patterns to change them.
That's the core idea. And related is neurohypnotic repatterning.
Using hypnosis to change how the brain processes information.
Yeah.
Reframing memories, maybe.
That's the goal. And Bandler also came up with design human engineering.
Which is?
Sort of. Consciously creating new, more effective ways of thinking.
Okay. And parapsychology.
The scientific study of, well, alleged psychic stuff, telepathy, precognition, psychokinesis, also near-death experiences, things outside the norm.
Right. And primal therapy.
Yeah.
Anov's idea.
Focusing on releasing deep emotional pain from childhood needs through, well, intense emotional expression.
And finally, polygraphy. Lie detectors.
Yeah, started with Marston, developed by Keeler with his cardiopneumocyclogram measuring heart rate, breathing.
But its accuracy is still debated.
Oh, very much so. Widely used in some places, but scientifically controversial regarding actually detecting lies definitively.
Wow. It's just such a huge range of things that fall into this gray area between science and something else.
It really is, and we haven't even properly dived into the medical therapies section yet.
Right. The placebo effect is obviously massive there.
Huge. That real improvement just from believing you're getting treated.
And that study you mentioned, placebos having similar suicide attempt risks as actual antipsychotics in trials.
Yeah, it highlights how powerful belief is, but also raises really tricky ethical questions for research and treatment.
Definitely. Which leads to sham surgery, right?
Exactly. Doing fake surgery to study the placebo effect in that context.
Which sounds ethically challenging.
Very. Ruth Macklin, the philosopher, raised serious concerns about the justification, balancing potential knowledge against risks and deception for patients.
Understandable. Then there's traditional Chinese medicine, TCM.
Right, with its core idea of qi, that vital energy.
And the huge difference in how it's viewed, West versus East.
Absolutely. You have Western critics, like the NCAHF, often saying it's unproven beyond placebo.
While in the East, like Wang described, it's seen as a whole evolving medical system with a long history.
And then research like Melzak's finding correlations between acupuncture points and trigger points, suggesting maybe there's some underlying physiological connection we don't fully grasp yet.
It really shows how scientific truth can look different depending on where you are, doesn't it?
It absolutely underscores that cultural and geographical variation. What's fringe here might be mainstream there.
And the source lists a whole bunch of other maybe more fringe medical or earth science ideas.
Yeah, quite a list. Flat Earth, hollow Earth theories, beliefs about the moon's effects, global warming, as the source frames it, odd water concepts like living water, Welteislayer, world ice theory, pentawater, polywater.
Wow. And old biological theories, too.
Yep, things now obsolete. Inheritance of acquired characteristics, spontaneous generation.
Like life just popping up from nowhere.
Right, and outdated evolutionary ideas like out of Asia instead of out of Africa for human origins, plus some agricultural beliefs.
Biodynamic agriculture. And rain follows the plow.
A historical belief that settlement and farming would increase rainfall. Didn't quite work out that way.
Seems unlikely. Then philosophical ideas.
Esoteric ones like Akashic records, anthroposophy, and a bunch of fringe physics concepts.
Like autodynamics, old atom models, plum pudding, Rutherford, Bohr, as listed.
Yeah, and challenges to Newtonian physics, plus things like cold fusion, electrogravitic,
And some controversial historical theories.
steady state theory for the universe instead of the Big Bang, new chronology challenging historical timelines. Newton's name comes up there, interestingly. Fomenko's chronology, melanin theory, Arianism, expanding Earth,
It's a whirlwind tour of debated ideas.
and then a very long list of alternative health practices.
Okay, deep breath. What's on this list?
Applied kinesiology, no EET for allergies, Bates method for eyesight, biorhythms, body grounding.
Chiropractic is on there too, with Palmer's early ideas mentioned.
Yes, his views on contagion and spinal subluxations, also craniosacral therapy, colon cleansing, crystal healing, electromagnetic hypersensitivity.
Homeopathy, with miasms and potentization.
Yep. Electromiasms therapy, Maharishi Ayurveda, iridology, diagnosing through the iris, magnet therapy, radiesthesia, radionics,
And the concepts from TCM again. Key, meridians.
Zhang Fu, acupuncture points, moxibustion, acupressure, also urine therapy, vitalism as a life force.
Wow. Dianetics, feng shui,
Yeah,
quantum mysticism, lawsonomy.
all listed. Plus dubious substances. Cosmeceuticals, nutracosmetics, Hongcheng magic liquid, orgone energy, the old luminiferous ether idea, vitalism again as an energy, torsion fields in the pseudo context, hydrinos.
Okay, that's comprehensive. It really covers the map of things outside the scientific mainstream.
It absolutely does. And it circles back to that point about geographical variability.
Right. Key in the West versus the East. One dismisses, one embraces.
It highlights the stark contrast in what's accepted as valid knowledge depending on your cultural lens.
And the source warns about the danger here, right? Unscientific facts clouding our judgment.
Yes, and rigidly sticking to unproven ideas, almost like a dogma, resistant to evidence.
Which sounds a lot like,
Like that original idea of pornoscientia. Degrading knowledge to serve an agenda, twisting or ignoring facts to fit a belief.
yeah. So maybe it helps to just quickly clarify theory versus fact.
Good idea. In science, a theory isn't just a guess. It's a well-tested, well-supported explanation based on tons of evidence.
Unlike the everyday use, where theory might just mean a hunch or speculation.
Exactly. And a fact is an objective, verifiable observation, data.
And the source even lists examples of current accepted scientific theories across many fields.
Yeah, just to show the scope of what is considered established science right now in astronomy, biology, chemistry, physics, all the way to sociology and visual art, provides context.
Okay, so wrapping this all up, it seems the whole landscape of pseudoscience is really complex.
Incredibly nuanced, yeah, not black and white. And that label, pseudoscience, it can be used fairly for critique, but also unfairly just to dismiss things.
So the takeaway for you listening is, maybe, don't just rely on the label.
Right. Focus on the evidence, the arguments, the quality of the support, that belief-worthiness Loudon talked about.
Assess the claim itself, rather than just reacting to whether someone calls it science or pseudoscience.
Exactly. Which leaves us with the final thought to chew on.
Oh, yeah.
Given how scientific understanding has shifted over history, and how much it varies across cultures even today, how can you best navigate all this information? How do you decide for yourself what counts as reliable knowledge in this constantly changing world?